Failure. It's a word we all dread since school's ingrained in us that it's not okay if you don't end up passing or succeeding, so it's a feeling we try to avoid at all costs. But what if I told you that every time I failed, it was the best thing that ever happened to me? Seriously, that every setback, every heartbreak, every moment I thought would break me, and trust me, there was a bunch, actually built me. So this is a story of how I owe everything to failure. My journey with failure truly started in high school. I was a soccer player and I used to consider myself a pretty good one. And for the first time in my life, in ninth grade, I was benched. And I remember sitting there questioning why I wasn't playing. Was it just that the coach didn't like me, or was I truly not good enough? That feeling crushed me, sitting on the bench game over game and just not knowing if I'll play. And the worst part was having my parents there in the stands, traveling all that way just to see me. And that failure truthfully lit a fire in me, and I trained harder than I honestly ever started. And I went around 7 days a week when I could, stayed late after practice, ran some extra miles, did all the BS you'd see in movies. And the next year, I hit my breakout season. Coaches started noticing me. I was noticed by a couple D1 schools, mainly D3, but they were pretty good academically. So I felt like that was a personal accomplishment. And that failure, it was honestly the best thing to happen to me in the sport. And funnily enough, I realized soccer wasn't the path for me, but it really showed me what dedication could do for me and for you. My next big failure is a big one we all experience: heartbreak. I lost my first girlfriend, and then my second, and then my third in the span of 4 years, and honestly, just rebounding to the next best thing. And at the time, it felt like the end of the world. I just didn't know how to handle it, but that pain forced me to look inward. And I started going to the gym, not just getting stronger physically, but mentally. Even went to a therapist for a little bit to help me recover. And it took being alone to realize I didn't need someone else to make me happy. I know as cliche as that sounds, but it was true. And I learned how to rely on myself, and I was lucky enough to have a bunch of supportive friends. And if you're listening to this, thank you. And my family to help me get through it. And that failure taught me what's truly important in life is learning how to be happy and by your lonesome, not really relying on anybody else for your happiness. Fast forward to more recently, I lost my job, and with some personal circumstances going on, I just thought it was over. I didn't think I'd be the type of person to get fired, especially after having one of the best results of my class of 19. I thought it would be a million times harder to bounce back, mainly due to the personal stuff on the side, and I looked at it like it was a challenge, like in my real world video game, and this time I didn't let it define me. After my experience with failure in the past, I started applying to jobs, networking, and just kept pushing forward no matter how daunting the task may seem. And guess what? I did it. I landed an even better job due to my network, and 2 days ago I started my chapter on a new journey, and just kind of showed me that the aspects of perseverance and how you can get through even the toughest parts of your life. So, what this taught me is failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's honestly the push you need to become the person you're meant to be. Sitting on that bench taught me resilience. Heartbreak taught me self love. Losing my job that I worked so hard for taught me perseverance. And every failure has been a stepping stone to get where I am today and where I'm going tomorrow. So if you're going through a tough time right now, like a lot of you guys are in silence, and you feel like you've failed and you're not good enough, just know this: failure isn't your enemy. It's actually your greatest teacher. And it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. If you didn't catch that, one of my favorite quotes from Rocky, but yeah, one day you're going to look back and realize you owe everything to failure. Thank you guys. Adios, amigos. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I just want to say failure's taught me a lot, and I'm going to try my hand in animation soon, so it might take a little bit longer for the next video, but Feel free to leave in the comments if there's any failures that motivated you, or rather something that you're working through right now. Thank you guys for listening, and adios amigos. Hey, I'm Fatty out.
Sway.